Perfect. Hi and welcome. I've created this workbook for you. Today I'm going to go through how you can utilize my template. So first step, you need to collect some financial data for your company and perhaps for a few of your competitors or different product lines. So as you can see here, I've done that. It's net profit margin, total asset turnover, and return on investment. More information about these on my website that I'll link here. So I'll update this link quite soon. Second step, create a scatter plot, as you can see here to the right. And I've inserted a picture and then some easy instructions, but I'll show you. So I've marked the area that you need to mark. Press insert, you find the chart tab here, and you have the first scatter plot. And as you can see, it's a perfect copy to create this one. Second step, you want to create a scatter chart with smooth lines. You do this by utilizing this table for ISO lines. Similar here, you mark the area with the blue color. You go to the Insert tab, Charts, and then the Scatter chart with smooth lines. Perfect. So once you've done that, you have the two components that you need to start to complete an ISO chart. I've included some easy instructions, but I'll go through it with you here as well. So first you copy the ISO lines and put it next here for an easy comparison, step by step, and how I ended up. With the complete. Later on, we mark the points in the scatter plot, marking the values of net profit margin and total asset turnover. We press inside the chart and we press Ctrl V and copy those in. Because the X and Y axis is not representing the correct values, it looks a bit weird right now. We're going to correct that. First, we're going to make the chart table a little bit smaller. We're going to center that. We're then going to go to chart design. We're going to start by pressing add chart element and then axis titles. We're going to add a horizontal one. We're going to do it again, axis titles, and a vertical one. I'm going to name it total asset turnover. And this one, we're going to call net profit. Perfect. It's already starting to look a bit more similar to what it did before. Then what? Yeah, we need to update the range for the X and Y axis. So how do we do that? We go to Format. Let's see here, I'm going to go here. Format, chart area, format selection. There we go. And we get this to pop up. We press the axis that we might want to change. We get the axis options. And we go to axis options and bounds. So total asset turnover in the table that I have above, we don't reach above 12. So we might want this range to be between 0 and 15. Sorry, total asset turnover doesn't reach above 5. So we might want the range to be from 0 to 5. We press enter and you see the corrections. And units, we want to correct that too. There we go, and minor 0, and the axis value boom. Gonna correct that quite soon. Right, 0.5. And here we go. Under numbers, we just make sure that's similar to here. It's a custom category, and the type is just a 0. So we remove any unnecessary information from here. Add. We need to press add. Cool. Starting to look correct now. We do the same here on the x-axis. It didn't reach, net profit margin never reached above 12, so perhaps 15 here. We'll do similar here. We don't want to skip out on the range here. And standard code, perfect. Starting to look more similar. What we're still missing here is to make it look a bit nicer and cleaner. So this is still a bit manual, but you're going to need to format the different lines. So you have here in the fill and line option, line and marker. So make sure you're in the correct place here. First, we go to marker and marker options, and we're going to remove the dots. Cool. Now it's starting to look like a smooth line. We'll go back to line options. It's going to be a solid line. We change the color to black perhaps, and it's a bit too broad, so we're going to make it into a 1. And then you do the same thing over and over again for all the different lines. Just copy the exact same way to go about it. You don't want to listen in on me doing that, so I'm going to show you the next step, and that is to customize the values or the dots for the different companies we want to recognize here in the chart. So you mark the dots, you see here the marker, it's a blue solid. But what we know here is that it's, if you want to make it look something closer to what I have here, you want to use a glowing effect. So you add that. You can correct the color of the glow, size of the glow. You might not want it too large. We go back. We might want to make the dots a bit bigger. So we go to marker options. We want to increase the size of those. Perhaps 10. Starting to look something a bit more similar to what we have to the left now. What else do we want to do? We want to add labels to these dots. So we press chart design, add chart elements and data labels, and then I would suggest perhaps either the callout as you have to the left. You just need to format the callout. We press the right. What we get right now is the X and Y axis values. And this is a bit of manual labor. We're going to change these into callouts. Sorry. All of them. So then we have, there we go. So it's a bit more easy for you guys to see. And at first, it might seem a bit difficult to delete the information or the values inside, but trust me, it works. You just need to make sure that you marked it correctly. And there you go. Name the first dot here. So just make sure that you name it correctly after the values that you have above in your table. We might want to make this look a bit better. We'll go to fill. We might want some brights. We still keep the same contrast, or keep contrast to the so it's easy to read. We might want to make these bold. Even easier to read. And there we go. We've gone through all the steps for how to create the Isoprofit chart. Last step, the absolute last step is to define the lines here, the values of the lines, because they represent return on total assets. Still quite manual. We don't really have. See here if we can. Sorry, we do not want to format here. There we go. And we've inserted the first shape. And then you mark the shape and you enter the value. And just make sure that it has enough space. You format this a bit more neatly than I did. And make sure that it's still readable. And you just copy paste and do this. And you can design this in the way that you would like. You can change the colors of the lines. You can change the backgrounds for the labels. You might want to make the industry standard stand out a little bit more than it does in my chart left. But at least now you have the tools and knowledge to make these alterations for yourself. Good luck. Hopefully this helps you. I will probably update this video quite soon